This is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
And it's once again been very hot and humid across mid-Michigan. Heat indices at times near or better than 100 degrees. Notice in the UP, little cooler weather showing up, so there is relief on the way eventually. Our local numbers, 93 Lansing, 91 degrees in Jackson. We've got a heat advisory in effect for most of the area until Tuesday evening at 8. Excessive heat warning for Hillsdale County, however, as well as Branch County, and that also in effect until Tuesday evening. So we zoom out just a bit, some showers and storms to our northwest, and that's important in the forecast for tomorrow as we finally got some rain on the way. For tonight, overnight lows, mid-70s tomorrow morning, a very mild and muggy start, but hang on, I've got cooler temperatures on the way. 6 News at 5 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 5.
Iran has fired back, sending missiles toward an American-run military base in the Middle East in response to U.S. strikes on key Iranian nuclear sites over the weekend. It's our top story at 5. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jorma Duran. Leaders from Iran warned President Trump that if America got into the war between them and Israel, they would not back down and would retaliate. And they kept that promise, firing missiles at a U.S. military base in the Middle East. White House reporter Erica Brown is here for you now with the latest from Capitol Hill, where members of Congress will be briefed on the matter.
Iran launched short and medium-range missiles at the Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar Monday, the largest U.S. military base in the Middle East. The attack came in retaliation for U.S. strikes on 3 key Iranian nuclear sites. A U.S. defense official says there have been no reports of U.S. casualties.
This is the home of U.S. Central Command. There are a range of critical assets at this base, drones, aircraft, and more.
President Trump visited the U.S. base outside Doha just over a month ago, where he told U.S. troops this.
I will never hesitate to wield American power if it's necessary to defend the United States of America or our partners.
The attack happened just as President Trump was set to meet with his national security team. Diplomatic sources tell CBS News Iran's retaliation was expected and calibrated. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are mostly divided along party lines over President Trump launching the military strikes, but one Republican says Congress needs to vote. On social media, the Republican Thomas Massie of Kentucky wrote under the War Powers Act, the president is required to withdraw from hostilities in Iran within 60 days unless he gets a vote of Congress. Others are standing by the president's decision.
Given the situation that we're looking at right now, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to the president and the administration.
Members of Congress are set to be briefed tomorrow on the situation. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Reaction from Michigan lawmakers on Trump's decision to bomb Iran are split about how you would think. Republicans support and Democrats don't. Capitol correspondent Tim Skubic got answers from both sides.
The U.S. bombers returned safely to home base Saturday night after what President Trump called a spectacular bombing run on Iran to block the creation of the potential nuclear bombs in that country. The fallout under the dome was quick, direct, and divided, as you might expect, along political lines. 7 Michigan Democrats criticized the president for ignoring Congress in making the decision to bomb. They included Michigan senior U.S. Senator Gary Peters telling Mr. Trump that he must engage Congress in any future bombing run. Ditto from former CIA operative and current Michigan U.S. Senator Alyssa Slotkin. Veteran Michigan Congresswoman Debbie Dingell called the raid unconstitutional, and nodding in agreement were Oakland County Congresswoman and U.S. Senate hopeful Haley Stevens, West Michigan Congresswoman Hillary Schulten, Detroit area Congressman Sri Tanadar, and Congresswoman from Detroit to lead. U.S. Senate candidate Dr. Abdul El-Sayed said he was opposed, but on the Republican side, local Congressman Tom Barrett said he wants a briefing from the military before he judges the president's move, but others, such as local Representative Tim Walberg, Congresswoman Lisa McClain, Congressman Jack Bergman, Congressman Jack Molinar, and Congressman Bill Huizenga all applauded the president's attack. The lone state Republican in Michigan to criticize the bombing, Oxford Representative Josh Shriver, calling it an act of war. For her part, Governor Whitmer did not pass judgment on the president's decision, but she quickly advised Michigan residents that the state police and National Guard were working to protect everyone here. Here for you in Lansing, Tim Skubic, 6 News.
Michigan Congresswoman Haley Stevens introduced a bill today in Washington that she calls the Stop Trump's Abuse of Power Act. The proposed legislation stems from President Trump's deployment of the National Guard in Los Angeles amid protests over immigration raids. If passed, this would make it illegal for the White House to deploy active duty forces to any state or territory without a direct request from that state or territory's leadership, such as the governor. Congresswoman Stevens claims the administration's move to deploy troops to L.A. made it harder for local law enforcement to do their jobs and escalated tensions. In a statement, she says, quote, "We need to stand up to the president's chaos and destruction and ultimately to, quote, limit his powers and make sure he cannot deploy troops on U.S. soil for his political gain," adding, quote, "We are a nation of laws and it's about time the president begins to follow them." Be sure to stay with 6 News and CBS News for the latest on the war between Israel and Iran. We'll keep you updated on air and online as the situation develops. Now let's talk about the other newsmaker, and that's the extreme heat we're currently dealing with. Many places throughout the state are under heat advisories until at least tomorrow. The National Weather Service issued the advisory, which will stay in effect until at least 8 o'clock tonight, but this could be extended. In response, the city of Lansing activated its extreme heat weather plan, giving people places to go cool off. These include the Letts, Foster, Geyer, New Hope, and Alfreda Schmidt Southside Community Centers, all of which are open both today and tomorrow. Advent House Ministries is also acting as a cooling center for the next 2 days. And all of us Mid-Michiganders are trying to stay cool in this extreme heat, but it's especially challenging for the homeless. 6 News reporter Zach Prees is here for you now. He found out how they're getting help. Good evening, Zach.
Good evening, Jorma. People living on the street or those who don't have a regular place to stay can struggle to get enough nutrients, water, and shelter any day. But in a heat wave, those shortages could lead to serious illness or even to death. Health officials say heat cramps, heat exhaustion, and heat stroke can happen if someone is out in the elements for too long, especially without proper hydration and cooling. That's why, as you mentioned, the city of Lansing has opened up several cooling centers in the capital city to help keep people safe in the extreme heat. The lobby of the Lansing City Hall is also open to anyone needing a break from the heat, and a city representative says CATA buses are providing free transport to homeless shelters.
It's important for all of these individuals to seek shelter during this time. Most of your public facilities are available for cooling during their hours of operations. CATA has been kind enough to offer bus rides to individuals to shelters, or if need be, to just ride, just to cool off.
Now, the City Rescue Mission of Lansing, they tell me that they're working on a new facility which would provide even more shelter during these type of heat waves, and that facility is set to open later this summer. Back to you, Jorma.
Zach, thank you very much. And if you're looking for a cooling center or need any other resources to help you survive the heat for the next few days, we've got a full list for you on our website, WLNS.com. The Michigan Department of Transportation announces a dozen closures are scheduled statewide this week, with several starting today in mid-Michigan. The shoulders of the westbound I-69 ramp to the I-69 Business Loop and the northbound I-69 Business Loop ramp to westbound I-69 will be closed for construction. That's set to last until 7 o'clock Friday evening. Also starting today, the eastbound lane of Saginaw Highway will be shut down for maintenance at Rupp Road through next Thursday afternoon. In Jackson County, one lane of M50 will close in each direction between Napoleon and Brooklyn. This started today and will last into early August.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
What a blast of heat this has been throughout the weekend and to start out the work week. And we've got one more really hot day, and then things will start to cool off. Check out the high temperature trend. Mid-90s out there today. Heat index values better than 100 degrees. Tomorrow, 91 or so. Heat index values could climb to near 100 once again tomorrow afternoon. And then look at that on Wednesday. Jorma says it's like the middle of January, 82 degrees. It's going to feel much nicer. Okay, not like the middle of January, but it's going to feel a lot better out there. Humidity levels will remain fairly high all week, however, until early next week when we drop into the 70s for highs. Satellite and radar today, some showers and storms to our northwest, important for tomorrow's forecast. As we zoom in just a bit, now this is where the severe weather is, where the showers and storms are currently located. As they move in here, they weaken. Tomorrow, it's not like there's a high risk. There's a level 1 low end risk, but maybe some of the storms could contain some gusty winds out there for Tuesday as well as into Wednesday, as a rather unstable air mass and humid air. It's going to persist across the region for some time. Precision cast. This little line represents an outflow boundary. It moves away from the storms tonight, and it's important because it's going to stall somewhere to our southeast tomorrow, and then watch what happens. Showers and storms start to pop up along that, maybe to the north of that. So there's going to be a chance for some showers and storms tomorrow afternoon. Best chance maybe across southern sections of mid-Michigan. Moving into Wednesday, more storms to our west, and eventually some of those will move in. So once again, a chance for scattered showers and storms in the forecast for Wednesday as well. Temperatures in the low to the mid-90s outside, with heat index values near 100 for St. John's as well as Mason. Most areas it just feels really hot outside. On the Skyview Network, McLaren Cam, 94 is the current temperature. Our heat index 104 degrees. Incredibly hot outside. In Grand Ledge, we're at 97 degrees, and look at that heat index, 110 degrees. Now this sensor's fairly close to the river, so it gets a little extra moisture, but it is hot out there. Jackson, 91, heat index of 95 degrees. Blue skies in Hillsdale, current temperature 94 with a heat index currently of 100. Tonight's forecast, 72, the overnight low, and muggy out there. For tomorrow, a few afternoon showers or storms, otherwise just hot, hazy, and humid once again. The 6-day forecast, weather-aware day because of the heat and humidity tomorrow. Chance for storms Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Not a lot of coverage, but some rain out there. Upper 80s, hot again over the weekend. Not as hot as now, of course. And then next week, oh, look at that. 70s Tuesday and Wednesday.
Perfect. I like that.
I like that a lot more than what we have now.
We appreciate it.